faster.
No, I'd go down with you.
That's why I would choose you, because you would. You'd go down with the ship.
I'd go down swinging.
Okay. Hi, I'm Betty, and this is Kora from bettyandkora.com. Here in the living room, Tea Time Edition, with Jasmine and Ryan from Mother Mother. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's good to be here.
Good.
Good to have you.
Thanks. We really wanted to know, Kora and I were talking, we've followed your careers quite heavily, but we don't know the origin of your name. Do you care to speak to that?
Sure. It's a decent story. It's not a fabulous story. When I was in college, around the time when I started the band, obviously, I had a friend who had a Kentucky accent, so everything he said was gold, as people with deep South accents have a way of convincing you they are. And he would always rave about the band name Mother, and that was the perfect band name for whatever reason. And so he kind of convinced me based on his convincing drawl. And he was just a really charming guy. So I had this in my head, and then we did an open mic before anything was really happening. We got off stage, and this guy was like, "What's your band name?" And the first thing that popped into my mind was Benji saying Mother is the best band name. So I told this guy it was Mother, and then it was kind of eternalized from there. And it became Mother Mother when we signed a record deal. And they did like a search for other bands called Mother, and there was many. And so they suggested we change the name. So instead of changing it all together, we just kept the maternal theme alive and doubled the noun Mother Mother, thus was born. And looking back, I think we all kind of lament the singular mother. Mm-hmm. There was something kind of stoic and powerful about it. And oftentimes, lawsuits aside, if you just like forge your path, I think people just get out of the way, and I think we would have been okay hanging on to that. But here we are, under the moniker Mother Mother, and reality is perfect and life is beautiful.
I think we should change it back to Mother.
Yeah, maybe on the next record, right? Just a little rebirth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome, thanks for that. So next I wanted to ask you, Jasmine. You've recently had the opportunity to kind of allow another side of your musical personality to shine through collaborating with Head of the Herd on By This Time Tomorrow, and I Don't Think You Will. What's that been like for you?
It was awesome. There's not really too much more to say about it other than it was just a great experience, and it just doing Mother Mother for so many years, and I'm just sort of very comfortable with that, and it works for me, and it's sometimes you forget that it's really good to get out of your comfort zone mm-hmm. and do something else, and it was just really nice to sort of push the boundaries of just vocally and working with other people. It was just a really kind of eye-opening and enriching experience, so it was great.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Now we're known as the band, with the girl who sings on that song.
Well, and similarly for you, Ryan, you have collaborated with some amazing artists as well, and produced for Rika and Hannah Georges, and recently collaborated, with Kyprios. How important is it for you to have other kind of creative musical outlets outside of Mother Mother? Very important. Yeah, it's natural. Yeah. I think it's like diversity is the spice of life, and you always have your priorities, but I think they flourish when you can bring outside influence to them. So I think Mother Mother is only benefiting from me gleaning tricks of the trade from other people and just outside inspiration. It's all kind of one thing, but then your priorities definitely benefit.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on kind of this definitive moment for us, at least following your career. Several years ago at the Waverly Hotel in Cumberland, BC, Mother Mother was on stage, and Kora's sister Diana turned to me and said, "This is the last time we're going to see Mother Mother playing a venue like this." And, from that point, which was almost true, to you guys selling out the Commodore Ballroom 3 nights in a row, being nominated for several Junos. Like, how do you guys cope with that individually and as a band?
So I assume you're meaning like the rise in fame?
The rise in fame. In fame.
It's fairly easy to cope with. I mean, I forget her name, but she was wrong. She just had to travel a little bit south of the border. She could see us in a venue just like the Waverly.
Okay.
She still can.
She still can. And will be able to, as far as we can see.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the world is a big place, and to have it all take notice and respond on an equal level seems to be impossible for us, like we do on Canada, and we're chipping away the States, and Europe is another animal. So we can always go to places to keep our modesty in check, to remind us that we're actually nowhere in this business. But then you come home and you have, some epic shows and attention, and okay, so we're doing something right. And so it all kind of settles, I think, into a fairly realistic assessment of what's going on, which is a group of people making a career out of their art in a time when it's difficult to do so. But it's by no means anything overly glorified or hyperbolized. It's fairly modest, down to earth, and that's just the brass tacks. And we know best because we see our business from all vantage points, whereas the people at the Commodore on the third night of a sellout just see it from that kind of distorted lens. So yeah, I guess I'm downplaying it, but it's just the truth.
Yeah, it's been a very slow and steady for us. Like, there hasn't been any kind of meteoric rise that has, overnight something massive has happened. But there's been a couple of moments where I feel like something has come full circle, and that's more happened recently. We're playing the Casby Awards, for example, and a few years ago we played the Casby Awards, and I was headlining, Metric was headlining, pardon me, and I was, watching them play and just thinking to myself, man, like, that must be so cool. You're headlining the Casbys, and that's, I can't wait till we can do something like that. And this year in October, we're headlining the Casbys, and it was it doesn't really matter, and it doesn't really mean anything, but at the same time, those little victories, it came back around, and it was just really cool to be like, oh, that's happening. So actually, I need to take a step back and realize that we are getting somewhere, and that these things are cool and to be celebrated. So
yeah, it's like definitely not lateral or retrograde, and that's what our manager always tells us, that even lateral progression in this time of the industry being so kind of shocked by the cyber piracy and everything like that, and the poor record sales, like lateral progression is actually kind of moving up.
Right.
Like that's seen as quite a remarkable feat. But we're actually, we're ascending kind of slowly, and I think it's just better. I mean, I look back on our career and think that we can stand on top of it now, and it's not shaky, it's very stable. And the fans that are on board, they don't know like just the hit songs that made us an overnight success. They know the whole catalog. So when we play a show, it's like you can pull from the deeper parts of the albums, the more obscure tracks, and everyone's singing along. And that's kind of very meaningful. I mean, we're making less money, but we don't just have to play our singles. So on an artistic and kind of interpersonal relationship with our fans, it feels a bit more potent, and there's more depth based on the slow rise.
What an accomplishment. Good for you guys, and congratulations on the Casby Awards. That's amazing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
We're gonna hopefully win a can opener. Thank you so much for the can opener.
Our pleasure.
And the spatula.
The spatula goes to
Jasmine. Mother. Shout out to Mom. So I wanted to ask you guys as well, Ryan, you in particularly, I've noticed, have been very heavily involved with Music BC. I noticed you're playing the singer-songwriter circle and iPod Drive for Lydia Hall, one of this year's peak performance project contenders. What inspires you guys so much to give back to the musical community?
I guess it's like, frankly, less charitable and more like it's nice to do gigs and to be in the scene as a part of it.
Involved. And,
and just getting better at your own craft.
Yeah.
I mean, coming to Vancouver 10 years ago, all these little things I would have just died to be a part of. So I haven't really lost that outlook. It's like every opportunity is a great opportunity just to further yourself inside a community, to get better at playing the guitar and singing in front of people.
Yeah.
It's still a journey, and these opportunities are pretty priceless. So just getting a bit more, I guess, savvy within that journey.
Very humbling.
Well, it's fun, right? This stuff is fun. It's like, you want to come play 2 songs at like a songwriter circle. It's like, yeah, it's fun.
Why not?
It's not like, oh, I'm giving back to the community and it's gonna, it's gonna enhance anything on a career level. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you get to hang out with your friends and play guitar.
And
now that's your job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
as opposed to, I can't because I gotta flip eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Working at a job I hate.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I'm busy. I'm in a place where that doesn't apply anymore. Like I can't ever see that happening. I hope like to be 80 and still just saying yes to all this stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, why not? If you can and it's fun, then that's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Life
Life is to be had,
to be gotten,
to be taken
seized
with
and
force.
stroked and fondled, played with.
This is Real Talk with Ryan. Okay, so I want to touch on your newest album called The Sticks. It deals with a lot of concepts of isolationism, escapism, kind of moving away from modern society. Why did you guys choose to write on those topics?
I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty prevalent, a prevalent topic in a time when technology is getting out of control,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of seems to rob people of their right just to be human,
Mm-hmm.
and to be tactile with their own elements and their own bits and parts. Like, so I think like just poetically, there's a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, like it's a subject that intrigues me because I try to defy the material world as much as possible. And so, yeah, I guess there's a personal stock in it, but also just poetically, there's lots of room to extrapolate on that theme, which is why many songs encompassed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first record we made where there was like a reiterated idea. And I think just, yeah, it's very relatable in this time. And it doesn't feel like you're being redundant by saying the same thing twice.
Right.
In regards to this theme. I don't know if that really answered your question.
No, it does.
But, yeah. I mean, art is an accident, I find. And and themes are an accident. Like, I think we look at stuff that's been done and we go, oh, there must have been some big premeditated idea
Mm-hmm.
behind Pink Floyd's The Wall,
Mm-hmm.
or Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, or whatever it is. But I think it's just a guy or a girl just like in the darkness of their solitude trying to find something that inspires, that just feels good in a moment. And it could be 3 notes, or it could be like a word that sticks, or it just could be anything. And then when they find it, they recognize that it lights a fire, then they start fanning it, or chasing it, or adding words, or adding textures. And before they know it, there's something kind of dawning upon completion. And then they go, okay, phew, I did something.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest of the world says, oh yeah, you really did something, and you
Mhm.
meant to do it. But I don't really think we do, or they do. I think they just stumble across it, and they're just very happy they did, but aren't too proud, in a sense. So that's kind of how The Sticks was born, and all of what we do and the songs I write are born. Yeah, you just sit by yourself and look at the clock waiting for something to happen. When it does, you don't waste any time, you just start fleshing it out.
Right on. That was quite poetic
Mm-hmm.
within
Indeed,
itself.
yes.
That was quite the
I
answer.
have to agree.
Would you like to speak to that at all, Jasmine?
Not really.
Okay.
That was really good.
Oh,
I wanted to ask you guys about being on the road. I know that you guys have a few little tips and tricks on staying healthy on the road. I know so many musicians who struggle with that, and I've had several friends always in awe of Jasmine on stage. You always look amazing. Good for you. So we're just wondering if you guys have any kind of little helpful hints you could give us for our fellow touring musicians out there trying to stay healthy on the road.
I can definitely say that I don't. Thank you for saying that. People have said that I look amazing, because I don't always feel amazing on the road. And I have a really sensitive constitution, so I have to be extra careful. So besides being boring on the road, which is like going to bed after the show and that type of thing for the most part, and probably most nights, definitely staying out of the after hours activities. But that's
you're not missing much.
That's not a very good tip. We actually cook on the road, so we bring like our rice cookers, and actually last time we did a big tour, I brought a NutriBullet, so a blender that I could sort of pack up, and I would just whatever produce I could pack with me, I would make smoothies in the morning. So I would have smoothies for breakfast, and like greens powder, whatever you can do. Like some mornings, obviously, a smoothie wouldn't work out. So, so in that case, we usually do soaked oats, like soaked oatmeal, which is great because you can have a mixture and you can make it the night before, and it's like so easy. Just pour water on it, you're good to go. But the cooking is really key. It's the making the time to go to the grocery store and pick up a few things, and having your cooler and your little food tote, and spending the time cooking, which a lot of people, like I think our tour manager looks at us and thinks we're completely insane. Like we have five big food totes and like coolers, and when we check into the hotel, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. People are looking at us like, what are these people doing? Like we're bringing our houses with us, kind of thing. But for us, it's worth it, because you do maintain, and you feel better, and therefore you sing better and you play better, and the show is better, and then if you do have a drink or 2 or 5, sometimes it's not like you also have added in, and I've been eating fast food every single day for the last 2 months, and I feel like I'm gonna die. So I think that's basically the gist. That's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, debauchery is so much more enjoyable when you're kind of taking care of that other stuff.
Yeah,
that's a big motive.
That's
for me.
That's why.
All for Ryan.
So, I'd like for you to both close your eyes and picture this. Okay, so you're in a field, and it's a zombie apocalypse.
Nice. Oh no,
it's not so nice. I mean, the field might be beautiful, but it's not nice right now. And you can have the choice of one person to be with you, one weapon, and one song playing in the background. What do you do, Jasmine?
Well, originally I thought machine gun, but I've rethought that now that I'm remembering The Walking Dead, and I would run out of bullets, so I'm going to take a sword, a really, really sharp sword, and Eye of the Tiger would be on, and I would take Ryan as my wingman.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have good backup.
That's tough. I'm bad at these types of questions. Like in the cartoons when the piano falls on somebody, I think that'd be like a giant piano, and it would just like
you could like command it and fall on that zombie.
It would have to be big enough to get all the zombies. Just be like sweet victory.
Okay, just
or an anvil.
All the zombies at once.
Piano or an anvil with like an
nice.
accompanying cartoon sound.
Okay.
With it. And maybe I'd take like Michael J. Fox from Back in the Future in the DeLorean.
DeLorean.
Delirious.
Delirious.
I like delirious.
I'm feeling a little delirious. Took a lot of cold meds this morning. He would be there, and maybe like something gentle like Chopin's Nocturne in E flat major would be playing,
Oh.
and we would just kind of cruise out of there and wisp away into some other era, some other time. Yeah.
In the DeLorean. Nice.
And Jasmine will be there too.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
don't forget me.
Yeah.
I have a sword, so I'm quite a good
Jasmine's
asset.
driving the getaway car, the DeLorean. She's
Yeah.
got the wheel.
We'd go to the medieval times with your sword.
We need a tank, I think. Maybe a tank rather than.
Okay.
Well, I guess the
We'd have a tank as well.
A tank too.
Maybe
Yeah.
the piano's playing the background music as it's dropping and
As it's
killing
dropping on
all
zombies.
the zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting good.
By Chopin himself. Yeah,
course.
a
By
giant
Chopin
version
himself.
of him.
Yes.
Just so you guys know, this is copyrighted. This is our new movie coming out.
We are dying to know what is coming up next for you guys. All these amazing albums, you must be working on something else.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, we're writing right now. It's just kind of entering the intense phase of writing new songs, demoing them,
Yeah.
sharing them with the band, and figuring out what kind of essence we want to conjure up on this next record. And we're kind of not going to be too hasty with it. We want to, I guess, reinstate ourselves to some degree, with not a totally different sound, but just something elevated. I think when you're a band who is getting into their 5th album territory, you definitely run the risk of becoming archaic or washed out into what people might perceive as just a bunch of songs that kind of sound like something. And so the singular statement of a record, when it's so many records deep, loses some of its power, as opposed to like our 2nd record, our 3rd record that is coming after the big 2nd record. Now it's like this is the 5th record in a long legacy of trying to make it. Essentially, that's what it is.
Kind of be like another big boom.
Yeah, so we're hoping that we can, I don't know, just write the best songs of our career and produce them in a way that is really big and punchy and powerful, but also kind of unique and artistic.
Yeah. Is there like a projected time frame, or just kind of taking some time to allow it to?
I think
create
sometime
itself?
in maybe the back half of 2014
Yeah.
it might come out. Yeah,
Next
Nice.
year. Mhm.
yeah. But we don't
So
want to.
We need something to look forward to here, guys.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, so far so good. The new tunes are feeling cool, and they're definitely feeling progressive.
Nice.
It doesn't feel like we're regurgitating ourselves.
Nice.
Yeah, they're kind of, there's a bit of a reinvention, but not in the sense of, not so much of a reinvention that it's like, who is this band? It's
Right.
very much us, but with another sort of interesting new aesthetic, which is really fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look forward to hearing that.
Yeah.
Us too.
Perfect.
Since we haven't heard it yet.
Cora, would you
Yeah.
like to sing your song for Ryan? It might be helpful.
How does it go?
It goes. Sing keys, wallet, phone before you
Oh, yeah,
leave
yeah,
any
yeah.
room.
Keys, wallet, phone.
Yeah, keys, wallet, phone, and then it just triggers that, and it seriously has saved me thousands of dollars in wallet replacements, cell phones, and keys. So highly recommend it.
Can we get Mother singing keys?
Can we? Yes. Wait, where's your microphone?
We'll do it in harmony.
Can I sing low?
Yeah, I'll sing high.
You pick the key.
You sing it because I gotta
You gotta
sing
get your
on top of
microphone in
you.
there.
Keys, wallet, phone.
Keys, wallet, phone. Keys, wallet, phone. Keys, wallet, phone. That was
Amazing. Thank you so much. Hand hug. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank
This
you.
is BettyandCora.com here in the Jaguar Lounge, the living room edition with Mother.
Ciao, ciao.
Yay!
Thanks, guys.
Keys, wallet, phone.
Keys, wallet, phone. Keys, wallet, phone.
Keys, wallet, phone.